Do you all remember Mixer? It's the streaming platform that took the world by storm in 2019 when it grabbed one of the most popular streamers at the time, Ninja. Eventually, other popular streamers would join the platform as well, such as Stroud. It would only be a few months after this, however, when it was announced that the streaming platform would shut down permanently. But how did this happen exactly, and what caused this? Today, we'll be diving into all of that and more. But first, let's take a look at how Mixer started in the first place. Okay, so Mixer would be founded on January 5th, 2016 by Matthew Salzamendi and James Boehm, and would start out as Beam. It would initially start out as a low-latency, high-interactive streaming platform where users can interact with the streamer in unique ways.
So Stat has put buttons underneath his stream that we can use as viewers to go in and control actions within his game. So James can go in here and give him a survival kit. So boom, he's got some resources that he can use to help him win. So we can also make things a little bit more interesting for him. So let's spawn some zombies to make things a little bit more interesting.
Whoa.
So you can see how Beam makes it possible for viewers to get involved with streamers' gameplay.
It definitely had a promising start, to say the least. And in August of 2016, it was announced that Beam would be acquired by Microsoft. This was a huge step forward at the time for Beam, as it would open the door for Xbox streamers to share their gameplay on the streaming platform as well. It would eventually integrate into what we all know today as Mixer. Now, it is also worth mentioning that Mixer had a 0.25 second streaming delay, which is really good compared to Twitch's streaming delay of 15 to 20 seconds at the time in 2016. The dynamic of the streaming platform would change as it would go from just being run by two teenagers to being run by a global company in Microsoft. Microsoft was hoping that Mixer would grow in big amounts, but as time went on, it would only just plateau and essentially be in a straight line for many years. There was only one solution for Mixer here, and since Microsoft has tons of money, it would be pretty obvious that they would need to grab some of the world's biggest streamers, and that's exactly what they did.
I know this may come as a shock to many of you, but as of today, I will be streaming exclusively on Mixer. I know, it's exciting.
And just like that, Mixer would take the world by storm. This was because of the fact that Ninja at the time was averaging hundreds of thousands of viewers, and out of nowhere, he just randomly decides to switch to a streaming platform that is significantly smaller. People were signing up to Mixer in droves, and just like that, the company was finally seeing success. This would eventually lead to other streamers signing on to the platform as well, such as Stroud and the deaf streamer Ewok. Yes, a viewer drop was pretty much inevitable, but Mixer was anticipating the viewers from Twitch to make the switch on over, and did that happen? Well, only for a little bit. You see, I don't even think that Mixer expected the drop that Ninja and Stroud would see in their viewership. For example, Ninja's viewership would drop by a whopping 33% when he made the switch over to Mixer. In that same time period, Stroud's viewership would drop by a whopping 85%. This was not sustainable, especially when you consider the fact that Microsoft had paid Ninja and Stroud a whopping $40 million to join their platform, respectively. With all of this being said, it was only wise to do one thing: completely shut down the streaming platform. In June of 2020, it was announced that Microsoft would be shutting down Mixer and partnering up with Facebook Gaming. This would leave Mixer streamers and streamers that called Mixer home devastated, to say the least. Although Mixer had a pretty small community, its streamers were pretty loyal, and they did not take the shutdown very well.
I'm here as long as some of the partners, but I've said every stream that's changed my life. It's really But when you've put 2 years of your life believing in a platform that was so different, I fully believed in Mixer. I sat there and said, do you know what, no matter what, I know there's issues, but it's different. It's community. It really had such a different feel to it.
Being a streamer, and I just was just able to see how I could do this in the future for a living, and streaming like something I always look forward to every day, and something I was finally learning and getting good at.
So what happened? What caused a platform with such a unique concept fail so drastically? Well, I think that Ninja explained it pretty well.
What did Mixer do wrong? Because everyone's like, Sega has all the capital in the world, so it's not going to fail. It's like Microsoft has all the capital in the world too.
The issue with that, the main issue with Mixer compared to every other, compared to Kick, is, and it's, you know, it's abundantly clear how, like, it took too long to get things done, right? There was like 80 different billion people that had to reach out to somebody else, who had to reach out to somebody else, who had to reach out to Microsoft, who had to reach out to somebody up top at Microsoft even more to get like confirmation to change anything.
That's what you're saying.
Right. So like when I went over to the platform, right, my moderators had like several calls with Mixer employees about what, you know, about improvements that everyone on in my stream and myself included, like what they could be doing differently that would just help the site out. Several calls, hours wasted, and one of them simply being, there's several, but one of the main issues simply being was there needed to be an easier way to sign up and make your username, right?
Yeah,
the email
that was my number one complaint.
I had to have every one of my family members, including Jessica, had to get direct help from a Mixer employee to make an account. Like, that is unbelievably not okay. Like,
yeah, that's a huge part of it. Kick's like a super easy setup.
I mean, it's just how it's using, enter any email address at all, type in the username you want. Oh, it's taken, make another one. Like, the fact that it gave you a username, you had to go into your own profile after you made it, and then you had to change your username. Like, that stuff that's just shitty. That's an incredibly like, the onboarding experience of making a username on an account or a website needs to be as simple as 1, 2, 3, bro. It needs to be if it could be a click of a single button, it should be. Like, if that's even possible.
I remember going into your channel to try to support you, and I could only talk to you as like Cave Leonum, which is like my old like Xbox name, because that was my login. So I couldn't even talk to you as Beard of Levin. So you didn't even know I was in there.
And that is a singular example of how just bad the platform was.
Despite all of this, even though Ninja's streaming career with Mixer only lasted about a year, he still would get a whopping $30 million from his contract, which is a pretty big deal. But when a big company like Microsoft sees something that isn't profitable, they just simply get rid of it, and that's exactly what happened here. Just simply making an account was 10 times harder than making an account on a platform like Twitch or YouTube. And that's ultimately what drew users away from the streaming platform, even with some of the world's biggest streamers. But what do you guys think? What ultimately caused the failure of Mixer, and how can a future streaming platform prevent going down the same path? But I think that is going to be it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please hit that like and subscribe button and comment on what documentary I should do next. And that is going to be it. See you guys later. Peace.